Part two, we are back again with Instagram expert Karen McCarthy. We're going to dive into more topics like Instagram's shopping feature, how you can wow your business by really drilling down into the insights and so much more. So do stay tuned for the insights-filled packed show.
Yes, it is. I have to say, I've got so many thoughts about our last conversation, and you love that website, Days of the Year, Mr. T. And just to bring it up, I know. I don't know how I found it. I came across it. I don't know how, but the day that's in it is National Middle Name Day, and just to let you know. You're going to find this really funny, actually. You know, I'm always on about baking analogy and blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Well, I won't say I'll tell you my middle name is Anne and Therese. Wow. But if you want to get my initials, it's EAT.
Wow. Well, there you go. Obviously, it was destined that you kept talking about cake and baking and all that.
I know. And then I married a chef there.
Wow.
There you go.
The stars aligned. Okay. Well, let's see if yourself and Karen can.
Oh, no. What's your middle name? What's your middle name?
You're going to guess now. I wrote something up here on my computer to throw at yourself and Karen to see if you can figure it out. So
okay, go on. So
it's a famous rhyme. So something Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Any ideas?
Peter.
100%. Peter. Yes, Peter.
So well it's PPT. Well done. You're a PPT.
I'm a PT, Post and Telegraph.
Double P.
Anyway, Karen, welcome back, Karen.
What about Karen before we start on her again?
Yeah, what's your middle name, Karen?
Mine is Maria.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. Thank you. I was considering changing to Maria when this whole Karen thing was going on with the Karen.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah. But I don't think that. I think that's just we should change it to Phillips. You know.
Yeah. Could I just ask
such
you?
A Philip.
Could I just check with you, Karen? Do you love the sound of music?
As in the sound of it, or the
movie?
The film,
movie.
Because wasn't it the lead character, Maria?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he makes sound like Maria.
Yeah. Exactly.
Don't make her sing, Philip. Don't do that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No worries.
You know. So, but anyway, Philip, what are we going on with now? We've a lot more to cover, as you were saying. So
100%.
What are we going to cover?
Yeah, we are going to crack into the show. Obviously, before we move on, if you missed the first part of our interview with Karen, it is up on the podcast, which is up on Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, and of course on the Dublin South FM website.
And of course, it's on YouTube now. So do go over and check us out, the Let's Get Social show, and subscribe, ring that bell. Let's get a bell. Yeah. And do leave us a comment, and we will, as I say, bring on any topics that everyone would love to hear. So, you know, whether it's more Instagram or anything to do with any of the other channels, do let us know.
Exactly. And one last request, if you want to just comment on the videos as to how we're doing or anything we missed, we'd certainly like to look back over that as well. But Karen, great to have you back on the show. And I suppose moving straight into it, this will be an interesting one. Obviously, I think will pique the interest of a lot of business owners listening. Instagram's shopping feature.
Yes.
Can you talk people through how that works, driving sales, shoppable tags, all that kind of element?
It's not as complicated as it looks.
Okay.
You need a couple of things to get it set up. You need to be a business page on Instagram or a creator page. You need to have a Facebook page set up. And then it's a matter of just linking it all up. And it's very straightforward when you go into just they'll walk you through it and you just go and set it all up. You kind of put your product catalog up on the Facebook side of things, and then it all links through. So once you've got all that sorted, it honestly sounds way more complicated than it is. It's pretty straightforward once you get into it. You can tag your products on your posts and that, so you can start to bring, building content around what you're selling then. So if you're selling a ring or something, then maybe you can do a lovely reel and you can have the ring in full view and all the rest, and you can tag so people can just go and buy from your posts in that way. And then you'll have a little shop tab on your profile as well that people can tap into. So it's just making it more visible, making it more easy to, so when you are particularly when you're showcasing the stuff that you're selling in your content, because people are going to be like, oh, where can I get that thing? So it's rather than you having to go and say, oh, it's on my website, go to the link, buy it, you can just tag it and then go straight over to it. It's just simplifying the whole process in that way.
So it's really seamless. So essentially, for a business owner, if say they sell furniture and they do a lovely reel or even a post where they're showcasing maybe lovely bed or an armchair, they can literally click that image of the bed and it brings them to their store.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's really seamless, that, so
and it's an opportunity to use, definitely, because it can be, you're already probably doing half of the work by just like putting up the content. So just by sitting down one day and just like put aside an hour or so, it won't even take that long to just set the whole thing up. Get the catalog in is the key thing on Facebook, and then you can just tag away. So you could be on stories and you can tag in your product, and it'll also sort of curate a little story highlight for you and give you the option to do that. So every time you kind of tag a product on your stories, it'll put it into that highlight, and you can say, earrings shops or whatever, and just facilitate the sale much easier that way.
So actually talking of highlights, then you would be able to title each highlight then, for each of the category of products that you do.
Exactly. Yeah.
And now I don't have a shopping account because I don't sell shoes or
it's only
whatever.
products. So yeah.
Do the insights show that, when you're looking at on your account, would that sort of reference products as well?
Not particularly, not as far, again, I don't have it on my active account. It would have been through clients that would have set it up, so I haven't seen that it's you're more seeing website clicks and that, but you wouldn't see like shop tabs.
Do you think they'll bring that in?
They could do. They recently removed the shop tab from the main homepage, which is funny because usually when they do that, it's because they're deprioritizing it. You can still access it and all the rest. It's more just, rather, when you go into the main home feed, it's more like reels and all that stuff. So you'll notice down the bottom there, I'm just looking at my phone there, you can only see the, regular reels search, and that it used to be in there as well. But you can search. So if you go and search on stuff, it'll still come up. So I don't know. I was kind of questioning that. It's only very recent that's happened. Why are they deprioritizing it? What is the reason behind that? Now, I don't know. Is it because they're just trying to, because it's not, they're very much going towards like creators, which are more, possibly selling services or doing brand deals and these kind of things. So there's a little bit of a question why they did that, but it's still, it's still definitely a good thing to do if you're selling products, because like that, you can just build your content around it.
Yeah, it'd be, I suppose Instagram is one of those interesting channels. They seem to be constantly tinkering around, like there was 2 or 3 years ago, IGTV was the next big thing. And it's gone, and now then.
And I was just about nearly thinking about it. Go on, gone. And then I thought maybe that's a sign. Don't go there.
And now, obviously, if you do a video, what you think is a video post, that automatically gets put as a reel.
Even a live video.
Yeah, so it's interesting, and as you said, I think Adam Missouri has been on recently, about new updates, and maybe they go backtracking to the image focus. So it's an interesting one, all right. Yeah, so
it just shows you have to sort of when you're posting, just be, it could go either way,
Exactly.
And then there Philip, about the sizing of your posts and all, There's a guy on, I can't remember his name. I can see his blonde-haired guy, and he was saying about measuring, when you put it up. But when I went to go and put up his dimensions on a post, it didn't sit looking as well on the grid. You know what I mean?
They were stretching them out or something. That was kind of that was happening.
But so if you had text at the top and text at the bottom, it's gone. You couldn't see it.
And the side as well. And I think that's the thing with Instagram. Like, Instagram is a brilliant tool for businesses to use to sell, but it's not your business, and it's like not to build your business around any app, because they could be gone in a year, probably not. But they're always changing. So if you built your entire strategy around Instagram TV, what do you do then? When it's gone. So it's always back to intention. What are you're purely using this platform to get traffic to the website, and have other ways, and just don't be totally reliant on it. It's great because still does work and everything, but just have other things going on like this, like podcasts, YouTube, all these things have lots of different things going on.
And then of course you said you were the content is king, but then engagement is queen. And yeah. So again, I was going to say about, I'm starting to use more and more of the stickers on some of the things I've been posting lately. What do you think is probably a really good, valuable, engagement sticker for
on the stories?
Instagram? Yeah.
So it's, I think my kind of sort of unwritten rule is to try and not do more than 4 stories without having an engagement sticker of some kind, because it engages people, which sends the right message to the algorithm, which kind of, because stories are where you sell. Stories is where you're going to get your bulk of your sales coming from. So the more that you can keep people engaged in it, and like, you'll know yourself if you watch somebody's story and you just like, they put up a little poll of just like something silly of like yes or no, or whatever it is, you do just get this little hit of dopamine when you tap the thing and it kind of lights up or something. So it's making it fun, it's making it social, it's making it interactive. So I think with any engagement and with stickers in particular like that, you want to make it easy. You don't want to make it like, when was your first mental breakdown? Discuss, they're not going to be like,
this morning.
Right now, making it more fun and like something that they're willing to like admit to you as sort of semi-stranger on the internet in that way. So like, I'll often do this one, I got it up today actually, where I say like, how are you doing? Great. And then the other option is getting better. So like, I'm trying to like promote positivity in that way, without it just being like, I'm crap, and like reinforcing that, but also that they can say that they're not fantastic if they want to. But I've had people reach out to me going, I love the way you rephrase it like that. And it kind of puts a better spin on my day, that I'm like, yeah, you know what, it is going to get a bit better. So like things like that, personalizing those, because all these can be personalized. And like, what's a great one, again, if you were a product business and you had 2 products, you can use like the layout on Instagram stories, where you just tap in and you could have up to 4 images, I think, in one shot there. It'd be better if you had maybe 2 or 3 like that, and you have them to vote on it and say, which one do you like, A, B, C, or D, or whatever it is. And they can just give their opinion on it. So it's a good way to do a little bit of market research if you wanted to. It's a good way to get them engaged. If you were like, I'm thinking of a new product idea, I was going to go with this or this, which do you prefer? What color do you like the best? And then they're involved in the process. They're giving you like great feedback on what you're doing. And then when the finished product comes out, they're like, I kind of was, involved in making that. So I gave my opinion on Instagram stories.
Well, it's also great customer research as well, isn't it? Then, you're getting back, as you say, feedback.
Yeah, because you've direct line to them in that way. So like, when you use it in that, and like, if you're somebody who's relatively new to Instagram stories and you haven't yet built up a great, like, rapport with people yet, start with the easier ones where it's just like, all they have to do is tap the emoji sticker and it just kind of lights up hearts or something. That's fun. It's positive. And you go to the poll one, the slider one, they're all easy to go to. The sort of question box is the harder one, because you're sort of, it's like an open-ended question almost of like, ask me anything. And what if they don't know what to ask you or something? So if you're
then
starting,
they won't click it.
They'll just be, they just don't know what to do, or they might be a bit introvert shy or whatever. So if you're going down that line and you want to sort of nudge them into it, what I've done before is just like asked a question to myself, which I know is like maybe not the thing or whatever, but so what? Like, so I'll put up a question box and just say, what was your dog's Instagram account that you talked about? And then I'll this is the account here. And then suddenly I'll have 10 questions because somebody else asked the first question, and then they don't feel so shy to ask a question,
Just a question that business owners sometimes kind of raise with us, but it'd be good to get your take on it, especially when you are talking about reels and copyrighted music and all that kind of stuff. Because in Instagram, mostly you have your personal account, but there's a business account and there's a creator account. Could you just maybe touch on maybe some of the subtle differences? Because I think businesses get confused as to, well, can I use this type of music? Well, no, because you're a business, but if you're a creator, you can. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it all kind of comes down to that if you don't own music, or there's some sort of copyright thing going on, for you to want to sell your products using somebody else's music, there's an issue there. Right. So that's kind of what it comes down to. So really, business accounts aren't supposed to have music access to the like overall library. So you couldn't just like put on a Rihanna song and then sell your earrings kind of thing. Yeah. So that's the idea. And like, how enforced or not it is another question. There's also, you could credit the person. You could say, this is not me saying it's Rihanna, obviously, or something, but like it's a little bit muddy like that. So if I am selling in a reel, I will use my original audio, just like my voice, and just kind of, stay away from it if I can. Or you can use some of the sounds that they have that are okay. Now it's a bit like elevator music or whatever. It's not fantastic, but if you wanted to have a little bit of background music or something like that. But in general, I mean, like, I have used, proper music, because I have, if you put in an entrepreneur category on your business profile, you get access to all the music. So I do use the music. I think most people do that now. And, I'm not a lawyer, but, I would be cautious not to directly sell using other people's music. And if you're ever sharing anything that isn't yours, you're supposed to definitely credit, and you're really supposed to get written permission. And this could be by way, like, so sometimes, like, I was running other Instagram accounts, and I would contact photographers and say, hey, love your content. Would you be happy for us to share it in this account? Obviously give you full credit. And they come back with, yeah, absolutely, would love it. That'd be great. So I've got the written proof there. So when I share it, I say, isn't this an amazing reel by at whoever? And then they've got the full credit, and that's okay. So, there's ways around it, but just to, like I said, the example of like using Rihanna's music to sell your earrings could land you in trouble.
Yeah, of course.
Unless she likes your earrings.
Maybe you'll get a brand partnership then.
Wow, that'd be something else, isn't it? Like, could I just ask you, just from a business perspective, if they do have a business account, is the analytics ability better, or is it the same across the board from your experience?
It's pretty similar now. There used to be a bit of a difference. It's very similar now. It's more down to kind of the advertising and the scheduling of the posts is the main thing. So, which may be slightly different now, because I know Instagram has their own in-scheduling version. Now. You couldn't use third-party scheduling apps unless you're a business account. So there are very slight differences now, and they do seem to be doing a lot more for creators, but then comes back to the kind of legality of what you can share as a business owner is the thing. So if you're kind of being a creator account, and then you get all the music and all that, but you're posting business sales content, then you're still in a bit of a gray area.
Right. No, that is interesting, because, we all want to stay on the right side of the law. And keep people wanting to continue to follow you. Actually, talking of, one thing I was curious to say, I always just say to people is having the seesaw effect. Try and have a few more followers than you are following. Do you think that kind of still is the same way forward?
I would say so, because if you have 2,000 followers and you're following 2,040, it just sort of looks like you only have followers because you're following them in a sort of unwritten way. So you want it to be a little bit. Now, I mean, I'm following, I don't know, at this stage, maybe over 2,000, and I have about 10,500 followers, so that ratio is fine. But I would have no problem following people. But in terms of who you follow, I would never feel under pressure to follow people just because they followed you, because at the end of the day, like if somebody who sells like baby bibs, as a random example, follows me for business tips, I don't think there's any point me following them. I don't have kids. I don't have any interest in that content. And I'm going to be messing up their engagement if I follow them just because I feel bad and I never engage with their stuff. So only follow people you really want to have a relationship with on some level, be it a business collaboration, you're interested in what they're selling or the content of it. So only follow who you want to follow. And if somebody ever follows you and goes, hello, you didn't follow me back, just ignore them, because that's just weird.
That is weirdo. As you were saying, there's no point in you following, and then it's not going to interest you either.
No, and it's going to hurt their engagement. So it's just pointless. It's like, I'm not your ideal client, so there's no point me following you back.
There you go, Philip. We'll just keep on the right side of her now, so she would.
Well, listen, I'm going to unfollow Karen straight away, because
that's fine. I'm okay with that.
She doesn't like your high kicks, Philip. That's
well, my hips don't like my high kicks.
Oh, we won't go there either. I was going to say, as one other thing that I was curious about, and Philip and I are always trying to say, what's a great strategy is trying to get people to go and head towards over to your website or your blog. You've only got one link in the bio, so what's your have you got a little secret sauce that you could share on that? It
kind of comes down to like an overall content strategy again, where writing content that's valuable to them, and in the caption, your call to action is to go to the website for a valuable reason. So so like my example might be, I might say, here's how to, like today I put up a post of how to increase your Instagram story views. And so I might at the end, I don't know if I did this, but I might at the end say, if this is something you're struggling with, it's something I cover in my Instagram bootcamp, you can get it today in the link in the bio. So it's relevant to the piece of content. It's additional value. It's solving a problem and all that. It's not just always saying link in bio, it's relevant in that moment. Yeah. So I will kind of look at my month or weeks ahead and be like, the days that I'm going to sell on my posts, and I'll make sure that the content is relevant to it and bring in the call to action that brings them to the website. Right. So it's making it all relevant that way. Now you do have the link sticker in your stories, which is like a bit like a lot of people say it doesn't really do much, because people, it's often again back to user behavior. Somebody is in Instagram stories, they want to scroll for a while and get lost in the scroll. They don't want to necessarily be taken out, again, unless it's something very valuable that you are massively in tune with their pain point, and you're like, if you're looking for this thing, you can get it right here, then they will go leave it. So it's again, it's all about that intention. It's all about the overall content strategy, and it's not just let's see if we can trick them to go to the website. It's like, what would be the reason that they would want to go and spend time on the website? And then another way, if you have a blog or like a podcast or something like this, you could say, let's say you cover 5 things in a blog and you give the first 2 in a post, and you could say the last 3 are in the blog. Yeah. If you want to you want to go and read it there, but be careful with the teasers, because sometimes I find them really annoying as a user.
Because then you're kind of thinking, is this going to be sort of, you go in and it's not exactly what you thought, that
not
way?
Even that they just make you, no matter, they give you no hint as to what it is, but they do a real like clickbait photo of just like shocker, something happens, and then it's like link in bio. It's just like, oh, can you not tell me like even half of it?
Yeah.
It's just like,
you're going to make me go up to the top of your bio. There. Yeah.
And then people start to leave comments of like, this is what happened. You're welcome. And everyone's like, thank you. No, I don't have to click it. So you can do it the wrong way. Don't go too like forcing it on Instagram. You want to give them a reason that's nice, not like you have no choice, you have to leave.
Yeah, it's interesting. It was a particular niche that I was looking at for some work that I was looking at for ourselves here. They have a link in bio. I use a link in bio myself, but I only have maybe, I think 3 or 4 links. But I went into this company's link in bio, and I think there was about 30 links. And once again, it's back to that same point. I think link in bio kind of tools are great, but once again, don't have 25 different links, because then people aren't going to look for the links, so maybe
they won't go all the way down the end anyway.
No,
I'd say like never more than 5, like more than fits in the screen, and 5 at a push. Like you just like, you really, because it's that overwhelm of decision. They're just going to go, 5 decisions, forget it. Is it just short and simple, 1 or 2 things, that's it.
Just in case people don't know what we're talking about, is within your Instagram bio, you can only have the one link, which is a bit frustrating, where a tool like Linktree allows you to have that one link, but when they click on it, just as you said, Karen, maybe have up to 5 sublinks or tabs. That's maybe something to different product pages.
Or you could have a landing page, that's not published from your website, and you can customize it,
Exactly.
They've updated that you can have some accounts. I think most accounts now you can have an additional link now in bio, but it mostly seems to go to Facebook. Yeah,
but it actually goes to your personal profile. It doesn't go to your business page for some reason.
So I think that still needs work. I don't think that was the goal. So I think that they were supposed to be like multiple links in bio was the new update, and now it's like, Facebook. Yeah. Why? So it could be still on the way.
It's interesting, I suppose, like we already talked about Instagram, and there's Facebook as well. And I think they're bringing down, if they haven't already, at the time of our recording, that verified accounts be charged or something, but like what Elon is doing on Twitter. So there's so much happening.
It's changing all the time.
I honestly don't. Honestly, it's going to be sort of like pay to play, really. Is there going to be anything left? That you're not going to cut up and saying, will I subscribe to this and will I have to pay for it? So
it comes back to like making sure, your website and things like SEO and all this kind of stuff are very important, so that you're not reliant on these there are social platforms.
Oh yeah.
Change all the time, so it's use them to your advantage until it's no longer to your advantage, and don't be afraid to change something else, and just always have your own thing going on in the background as well.
You wonder how things will be like, say, in 5 years' time, because when you think, as you were saying earlier, Philip, about IGTV is gone, you wonder, will it be something more interesting they're going to bring even up into the bio area,
Well, I reckon I'll be probably a hologram or AI. I won't be here. I'll be just kind of a hologram talking to you.
We'll all be in retirement and just start AIs to be doing it.
Yeah.
It'd be more than that, you'd be able to, like 3D or something. I'm thinking, that way, So
I wouldn't put it past it.
Which would be quite scary, really.
It would. On Instagram, Karen, once again, we're starting to kind of come to a close, but I wanted to throw this one in to you. Influencers. You see kind of obviously influencer marketing, and it does seem to always be something that's very linked to Instagram influencers, especially in sort of the maybe cosmetics or clothing and stuff.
Yeah.
Any tips for businesses as to maybe how to approach collaborating with an influencer and that type of area?
Yeah, and it can be a great move, again, depending on your niche and all that, because they have, somebody as an influencer, even if they only have like 30, 45,000 followers, when they post something on stories and they say, this is amazing, and they truly believe it, people will buy it just like that. Whereas what it would take you to do the same is, loads of advertising and time and all the rest. So it is definitely, and I would look for even like, especially if you're starting out, look for the micro influencers that are like the slightly smaller accounts that could be anything, between 10 to 50,000 or something like that. And really like follow them, treat them like a human being. Make sure that they align in with your brand. So let's say you sell vegan cosmetics, and you go and find somebody who's a vegan influencer or whatever, and you look at their content, you look at their stories, and you feel like, they match what I do. They're my ideal client. They would definitely love this. And just connect with them, comment on their posts, listen to their stories, reply to their stories, and then send them a message. And then sometimes they'll have on their platform, inquiries here, or it could just be sending a DM, and you could just say, hey, Emer, are you interested in this? And just like don't be super like,
desperate.
Or just treat them, because this is their livelihood. This is what they do. And again, any kind of influencer worth their salt is really looking to work with people who they love and they resonate with, and they're like, oh my God, I love your stuff. I would just be delighted. And that's the response you kind of want. So just get visible on their account a little bit, and then reach out to them like a human being and just say, hey, I really love the way you talk about vegan stuff, and it really aligns with what I'm doing, and I'd love to just tell you a little bit what I want to do, and do you want me to send you a message here or there or whatever it is, and just be honest with them, and then it generally will work out if you're coming from a place that you're not just going, oh, that person has hundreds of thousands of followers, one post from them and I'm done, I'm made. It's coming from a place of alignment of like, they would match my brand 110%. I want to connect with them genuinely, and that's the way to do it, really.
Yeah, because you want, as you say, somebody that would maybe use the product, their followers would be inclined to then say, that's kind of what I need, or, that's the latest thing, I'll go for that, So again, it's being, so that people actually kind of believe,
that it wouldn't be like, oh, I followed this person for vegan content and now they're talking about dairy ice cream. That's weird.
Oh my God, there's your brand destroyed. Like, so,
and
I suppose that's a great point. I think influencer marketing, once again, just like everything, it always comes back to what you said in show one, Karen, is know your audience, do those customer personas, and find out, even trying to align influencers that maybe they would gravitate to, rather than exactly what you're saying, going for, they got 2 million followers, just get them on, and they wouldn't probably use the product or whatever. So,
and there's no harm in asking, as I say, either, because you don't know. They might have actually go, actually, I love what you're doing, and I'd be, delighted, as you were saying there,
exactly.
I've done that before, because I run another Instagram account about dogs, and I've often worked with brands there just because it's been so fun to do, and it just might be, I'll be like, they'll reach out to me and I'll be like, oh my God, that's an amazing idea. Yes, we'll do it. We'll be there, just because it's really like what we do on the account. So it's just picking the right people and doing your homework.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to believe. You know what I'm going to say.
That went too fast.
It went too fast. We've come to a close. Karen,
we could talk more, I have to say. Yeah. Really.
Well, listen, no doubt you'll be like a boomerang, Karen. We'll have you back around because there
will be changes.
There will be changes. Would you tell everybody, Karen, if they didn't catch show one, where would they go and find you? Probably Instagram, obviously, as you said before.
Yes. Instagram, best place to find me, and you'll find me at the Simplified Social Media. And once you see all the yellow, you'll know you're in the right place.
Exactly.
And have you anything that you're promoting at the moment, Karen, that people might want to be interested in?
At the moment, I have my Instagram bootcamp, which is a kind of a done by yourself program, which will help you set up the bio, do your Instagram stories, create posts to get more engagement. It's a real kind of for people just getting right on Instagram and kind of making sure they're doing everything right and getting results on it in that way. And I'm working on a group program at the moment, but still in the works for now, but it'll be in the next month or so, it'll be kind of more details coming out on that.
Brilliant. We might have to go and sign up ourselves, Philip.
Well, certainly let us know, and we'll give you a shout out on our own personal
channels. Thank you.
Let you know, so we don't do that.
So I was going to say, if you enjoyed today's show, and you can catch it again on the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Podbeam, and the Dublin South FM website. So do go and subscribe, and you'll be able to hear all those wonderful tips from Karen. And Philip,
see us. Yes, if you want to see us, of course, we're on YouTube on the Let's Get Social Show YouTube channel. Do go over, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. And leave us a comment as to how you're liking the show.
And then even email us in with anything that you'd like us to cover at inquiries@dublinsouthfm.ie. So because we're always looking to see what people need, want, inquiring about, what more ideas on. And as I say, even go over now, I would say go check out Karen's Instagram. Because she's got some great stuff up on her stories, reels, posts, the list goes on.
Exactly. So thanks again for listening. And if you're watching us on YouTube at a later date, thanks for watching. And of course, thank you very much, Karen, for all your brilliant tips.
Thank you for having me.
We will see you guys next week for more. Karen, don't go. We'll keep you for another week.
Part 25. So hard.
She'll be going, I have to go home. It's Christmas. Thanks a lot, guys. See you next time.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.